Just as a wee thing before we get started in this video, there will be heavy spoilers for the game coming up in the video, right? So you've been warned.
We settled Mars over a century ago. Making this dusty rock our home wasn't easy, but the promise that led us across the void was freedom, something my family's bled for many times. For generations, we Masons have fought for the Red Faction. Many were heroes, but heroes have enemies, and one, a self-styled messiah named Adam Hale, has returned with an army to conquer Mars. It's a war he's losing. Now Hale's cultists have captured the Terraformer, the one thing keeping our atmosphere stable, and plan to destroy it. If the Terraformer goes down, we go down with it.
We're approaching the target, so listen up, people. Intel confirms that Marauder cultists led by Hell himself have overrun the Terraformer. Red Faction Command speculates that Adam Hale is planning a Pyrrhic victory.
What, Sarge?
In other words, Private, the cultists have gone kamikaze. See that nasty storm front ahead? Hale's already monkey-wrenched one of the atmosphere generators.
Yeah, and what's a monkey wrench?
It's a Pyrrhic victory.
You my specialist?
Darius Mason, 3rd Engineers.
Mason. Should have figured you'd volunteer for this one. Well, you better know your shit. Cause once the hostiles are down, we need that damage reversed before the whole damn sky falls in.
Understood, Sergeant.
Remember, Adam Hell is kill on sight. Now lock and load.
Conditions deteriorating. Hang on, it's gonna get rough.
I'm happy. Hope you're happy too. Right, I know I said this game was shite in the Red Faction Guerrilla review. I feel that's not quite right. It's a bit unfair in that. No, this game isn't so much shite, but it does pale in the shadow of its bigger, better, older brother. Or if you prefer, sister, if you're one of they cunt. Now that's the wee explanation out of the way. Let's get into this game, shall we? Fucking brilliant, mate. Once again, this game is set on Mars and it's 50 years after the events of Gorilla with bananas. And you control Alex Mason's grandson or something like that, and his name's Darius Mason. Sounds like a fucking extra at Fast and Furious. I heard Darius Mason racing his fucking dad's motor again, silly wee prick. Darius was anyway, and you've got to stop a bad guy called Adam Hale. Adam Hale, or Adam Hale if you prefer. His name's a fucking pish. Adam Hale, this isn't like the bad guy. Why is he not called like Jaggy Flamlaflax or I don't know, you know, like something like Evil McMisterface and fucking Gouged Out Eyeball McJoe. Adam, the bad guy's name is Adam and his wife's called Betty or something like that, and his brother's called Barney. I don't know, I'm just making that shit up. I actually keep forgetting who the fuck's who, and I don't know what it is, but most of the characters in this game, they're all bald. Does the Martian climate make your hair fall out? Apart from facial hair, of course, and the odd mullet. I think I saw a mullet. I could be making that up. But the game starts with this Adam Hale fucking trying to blow up some sort of terraformer. Right, brilliant. So does the terraformers, and I know this is science fiction, I don't think terraformers exist in any way, shape or form. But did they need to be constantly running? I thought once a planet was terraformed, they'd turn off the terraformer. Could be lying, I could be making that up in my own head. It's sci-fi after all. Pish. It's kind of like how the Earth doesn't just run out of air. I mean, you grow trees, you terraform. I don't know why I'm still talking about this. Absolute nonsense. So you roll up and fucking stop, or try and stop them from blowing that thing up. You fail, by the way. And then you're just running about shooting things, and then you get inside a big mech suit and you open up this vault that's been locked away for a couple of years, and there's bug-like enemies in it, and this is where the game sort of changes. It's kind of like the Halo Flood situation, only far earlier in the campaign, and it's nowhere near as good because the bugs are annoying as shit because they just fucking dart all over the place, like, well, really annoying jumpy darty things.
Life forms approaching. Numerous life forms.
You must be reading the salvagers.
Negative. These are non-human.
Not human.
Approaching in position. Rapidly.
Hey, something's moving down here. Hey, you read me? Like, I don't know what this place is, but pull me the hell up.
That won't be possible, Mason.
What are you doing? Who are you people?
The true masters of Mars.
Hell?
Yes. Thank you for opening the seal. Despite the generations of bad blood between us, you will be honored in our lore.
Where am I? Come on, wake up, you piece of...
Rebooting. Initializing startup protocol.
And then you've basically got what should have been a great sequel is now a linear Dead Space copycat, and doesn't work. Just doesn't work. It's no shite. The shooting's a lot better in this game. I'm glad something is, because everything else is inferior. The geomodding seems to be the same, but there's no open world this time. It's just levels, and then you can fix them. You've got this little fucking thing that fixes it. Now this thing appeared in the Red Faction Guerrilla multiplayer, but not in the campaign. Don't know why it didn't appear in the campaign, because sometimes I blow up stairways and I'm like, how the fuck did I get back out of this? That'd have been handy, you know, but never mind. So you're just underground for huge chunks of the game, and there's this really fucking boring bit where you're in the back of this big drilling machine. It's like something like a Total Recall, right? And then you're moving so fucking slowly, and you have to shoot these things that are like coming towards you, and there's fucking hundreds of them, and it's no fun. You're constantly having to repair your cover like every 2 or 3 seconds. And these things, the enemies get bigger and bigger and bigger. But I do like some of the designs of the bigger alien creatures. But what I thought they were going to do this with Red Faction, but I was thinking more War of the Worlds than Bug Hunt. You know, it's more like Aliens / Dead Space. I was thinking more like big technological terrors in an open world, you know. No, well, I don't know why they decided to make it linear. That'd be like fucking playing GTA. And then all of a sudden GTA 6 is a linear-based, cover-based shooter. But it's all set in the same place, and you'll see familiar locales from, you know, missions in Liberty City, missions in Lost That, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing this for? Where's the open world? Why did you shove this out early? Was it always meant to be open world? But then you thought, well, we need to get this game out now, for some reason. And it just, like, we need to cut the open world parts out. What the fuck went on? And I'd love an explanation, actually. I'd love to know why this happened. But what you've got is a fairly decent linear shooter. It doesn't last terribly long. The boss battles are no bad, actually, I will say that. But it's just kind of unremarkable, and it's not as good as its predecessor, which, not just because it's not open world, but it's just not as interesting a game. There's enemies that aren't as interesting to fight. You do fight a lot of irritating enemies that can just spawn infinitely. They're these sort of electrical spawn pods, and they can just spawn over and over again unless you kill them. And I'm like, okay, it's like Gauntlet, but yeah, no, I'm not overly thrilled.
Then we tear them all down.
And that's it. That's the review. Sorry, it's a bit shorter than the last ones, but at the same time, I'm not wanting to drag it out too much. There's not an awful lot to talk about. There are powers. You get it's like stasis powers and things like that. So it's like, yeah, this is just Dead Space. You're just copying Dead Space. You get it for very cheap now, so I think you could even get it for free at one point. But I think that ship's well sailed. So if you like Guerrilla, but you didn't like the open world, but why didn't you? I don't understand this at all. It's like, fuck's sake. But if you did like Guerrilla, you'd like the combat. The combat is better in this, but that's about the only thing that's improved. Everything else just feels like a step back or a copy from another game, which is a bit shit if you ask me. But yeah, that's just me. So this is an average, maybe actually slightly below average shooter. It's okay, nothing great. See you later.
What happened?
We are the outcasts.
You couldn't stop it.
We are chosen.
Where is the son of a bitch?
That way.
Careful. He's heavily armed.